Hello! So, here's another arachNES demo. So this time, we've got Castlevania up, and you might be wondering, why are we in the middle of Castlevania? Um, so, since my last demo, there's a few things that I've added. One of them is the UNROM mapper, which is necessary to get a lot of games to work. One thing that I haven't engaged with much yet is the existence of mappers, which are basically different kinds of hardware used to expand the amount of memory available in the NES, available to the cartridge, I mean. So, UNROM is the simplest of these, and that's why I've added it, and Castlevania uses it, so that's why Castlevania works. Now, one thing I also added is save states, and this is where things get interesting because I've implemented save states to save all the state except the stuff inside the cartridge, like the mapper. So that means that things like which memory bank it's accessing, is not saved correctly, which is fine. It's not going to be hard to implement. But what I was really hoping to happen was for this to cause some interesting glitches. So yes, I've actually gone fishing for glitches just to see what would happen. So I actually made a save state into the first level, just to see what would happen if I loaded it after going into another level. So let's just go ahead and press the button. And here we are at the start of the game, except it looks kind of weird. So you might be asking, what causes this to happen? So first of all, there's some games where trying to load a save state this way just causes the game to crash. What is being bank switched in UNROM is the programmable ROM, where the game's program is. That means that you could have just anything sitting in there. The way it works is there's one 16 kilobyte bank in whatchamacallit, that's switchable, so you can have, I think, 8 or 16 different banks. The last 16 kilobytes of the NES memory are fixed, which means that it'll just always be the same memory, which is useful because that's where the reset vector is, which tells the game where to start executing code. If you had that bank switched out and then you reset the game, probably you would start the game in the wrong bank, or you'd start the game in the wrong bank, and you'd just either you'd have to include the reset vector in every bank, or it would just make a big mess and not work. It would probably just crash the game. So when you do this, when you load in the wrong bank, pretty much anything could happen depending on the game. Now, UNROM uses character RAM instead of ROM. I think entirely instead of ROM. I might be wrong about that. I guess, I don't know. Some of them might, or might not. I don't know. So that means that, basically, the CPU can draw in the tiles instead of having them just appear in ROM. Since you can't have bank-switched character RAM, or character ROM in UNROM, it looks like what a lot of developers have done to solve that problem is to actually store the tiles in the CPU, and then just have it draw them in. And so as it happens, it looks like what's going on in Castlevania is that I think the entire game's code, I wouldn't be able to tell you this for sure without confirming, but it looks like the entire game's running code is in the fixed bank. And it probably just uses the switchable bank to store tiles. And this is fortunate for my glitch finding efforts because it means that the game will keep running even if it's switched to the wrong bank, but it will load the wrong tiles, so you can see like the zombies are being drawn as these armored guys, and other enemies are just like totally wrong. Like everything is using tiles from a different area, so it looks really weird. And that's the boss up there. This is gonna be interesting. Whoa! Honestly, I don't want to remove this from my emulator. It's kind of fun to just mess with it, and I am doing the worst job. Did its hit detection change? Because it looks like some of those should have hit. And so yeah, that's pretty much how this goes. It's unfortunate that like Ghosts and Goblins just crashes. But I'm sure there are other games where you could find some interesting weirdness by doing this. So this one's always going to be the same because the orb always appears in every level. So probably what will happen here is, now that I've beaten the level, it will probably switch back to the correct bank. So we get the map, and then we'll probably just show up right back where and then the game will just proceed as normal. So it looks like it's pretty safe to just mess with the bank at random. I don't know, maybe I will put like advanced dev shortcuts that can like screw around with the game's values. Man, I'm just gonna end up making FCUX, aren't I? Jeez. Yeah, I don't know. Although I don't know if you can do that in FCUX. Actually, like, reach into the cartridge? I'd have to look. Now I really want to know. If it can't, I'm sure there's an emulator that can do that. Like, this is too entertaining not to be a feature in some emulator. But yeah, so that's how I've chosen to educate you on the workings of UNROM. This is probably a really good, simple example, because it probably just has each bank is one set of tiles for one area, or something like that. So that's real interesting. It also seems to indicate, as far as I can tell, that the level data is all stored in 16 kilobytes. That seems, I don't know, maybe that's not true. But it wouldn't be able to access it if it wasn't switched, if it wasn't in the top bank. So I don't know, maybe not all the level data is contained in it. Maybe if you messed around too much, you get the wrong level data, make a mess. I don't know. It sounds like something that would be fun to play with. So yeah, I don't know. It seems like it'd be hard to add as like a official feature. There's a lot of interesting bugs here that I kind of just want to keep around, like the Mario one when Donkey Kong, where all of the things were Marios. That was fun. I don't know, but yeah, I'm hoping that I'll keep running into weird things like this, because if I'm just implementing mappers, you'll just see the game's working, and there won't be a lot of this stuff isn't as visual as the Sprite Zero hit, or anything like that. So I don't know, maybe this might be better suited to like a blog post or something. See, I just had a thought. Is my heater gonna be picked up in the background? Oh shoot. Ignore that. Yeah. Anyway, I guess I'm just rambling now. So yeah, I guess I'll see you next time. I swear to God, I'm eventually gonna get back to Let's Plays. I promise. I double, triple, pinky promise or something. Anyway, yep. See ya.